I've known Bill Koch for years. Before I served at the cathedral where he's a member, I knew of Bill, first of all, because his reputation in Nashville for the amazing service that he has provided for so many people, the organizations that he has founded. But when I think of Bill Koch, the first thing I think of is this humble, gentle, kind man that really believes and follows the gospel. And the second thing I think of when I think of Bill Koch is the passage in Matthew 25 that says, "Where were you when I was hungry? Where were you when I was thirsty? Where were you when I had no clothes or I was sick?" And when I think of that, I think it's Bill. Bill's the one who answers that question and answers it for so many of us by providing avenues for us to serve folks who are hungry and thirsty and sick and in prison. And so when I think of Bill Koch, I think of the gospel, and he is a servant of the gospel through and through. There are so many organizations that have Bill's fingertips and thumbprint on them that it's hard to imagine Nashville without him. I'm sure somebody could have come along in time and developed these organizations, but the thing about Bill that I think has made all of us just love him so dearly is he has an idea of how to serve and how to reach out to those in need. And it's just not an idea, he actually puts it together. I remember years ago, he called me when I was serving in another church, and I knew him just in Nashville, and he said, "Jean, would you be on the rooftop board? I've got this idea and I want to start this organization." And that was, I mean, he's already done many organizations prior to that, but he sees it through to the end. And then here's the other piece about Bill that is so endearing. He starts the organizations, he gets them up and running, but he also serves, because on Sundays at our cathedral, we have a program that welcomes people who come in off the streets who are looking for some assistance. And almost every single Sunday, you can find Bill Koch sitting there with folks who've come in who are looking for something. So it's not just that he starts an organization, he actually helps people himself and sits and listens to what they need, and then he responds. First thing I would say to Bill Koch is thank you. Thank you for showing us what it means to follow Christ and to live the gospel. Thank you for your vision, for your gentleness and your kindness, and most importantly, thank you for bringing us along. Bill, you are a hero. You are a servant. And so many lives have been touched by you, lives that you'll never know, that you have made such a difference in the lives of those in need and those who may not be in need but want to help. You're an amazing man.
Well, I met Bill through his wife a number of years ago, probably 30 at this point. We both go to downtown churches that are close, and so we got involved in the Association of Downtown Churches, and then I went on to do a number of things with Bill, chairing committees, and then finally we got involved together with Rooftop. I think Bill is a very inspiring person. He is always willing to give his time and his energy and his expertise to different organizations and programs, and I think Rooftop is a prime example of that. Well, we started out with committees at just the very beginning with the thought of helping other people, and just decided on logos and a name and what we wanted to accomplish to help others, and I think that came to be. I've appreciated our friendship so much over the years. He's meant a lot to me, and so has his wife, Fletch. And I just want to thank him for all of the time he's been willing to give over the years to help other people.
I know Bill Koch from many directions, but mainly from church. And Bill and I were parishioners at the same church, at Christ Church Cathedral, for many years, and that's where I first encountered Bill Koch. I think that Bill Koch's contribution to Nashville is probably immeasurable. He is just one of the finest men that I know. He was an astute businessman. He is a wonderful, strong Christian man that actually he walks the walk and talks the talk. He lives out his faith every day. He has started and been a part of so many nonprofits that help the poor and underserved in Nashville that you can't really count on. He's an awesome man. He's my role model. He is my personal hero. Bill has meant just the world to me. We were a part of the community outreach committee at Christ Church Cathedral, and he was just such a wise man, and I just always appreciated all of his leadership and kindness, and just he's very practical. He practices kind firmness. You know, he really knows how to intervene with anybody, whether they be poor or rich. Bill has got the right way to coax people to do their best. And I have always said that he and his wife Fletch are just my absolute heroes, and I would hope that I could be just 1/4 of what they have meant to Nashville. That I could, if I could be 1/4, maybe 1/8 of that, it would be wonderful. I would like to tell Bill Koch that I just love him more than I could even say, and that, you know, he did make my husband just a little bit jealous. When we first started Rooftop, Bill and I were doing that kind of much all by ourselves, and every week he was handling all the money, and I was writing the checks. That was probably a good thing. My husband would say that it definitely would be better for Bill to handle the money, and I'm real good at writing checks. So every week we would meet in the parking lot of Wild Oats, where Trader Joe's is now in Green Hills. That would be a kind of halfway between where Bill and I lived. And we would meet in the parking lot of Wild Oats, and we would exchange the checkbook. And my husband would say, "What do you think people think you and Bill Koch are doing every week?" So Bill Koch is, next to my husband, is my favorite man.
How do I know Bill Koch? I met Bill Koch about 6 years ago. He invited me to participate in some discussions about Rooftop Foundation. At the time, I was part of the ministry staff at a church here in Nashville, United Methodist Church, and we were interested in participating with coordination of other churches in providing rental assistance for people who were low income, had emergency housing needs, and so I came on as a representative of the church where I served at the time, but met Bill through which at the time was the early stages of the Rooftop Foundation. In my mind, what does Bill Koch mean to the Nashville community? Well, I have a word that I use for affordable housing, for hope in housing, for comfort and security in housing, and it's called homefulness. It's not just the opposite of homelessness, but it incorporates the security and the hope that comes with being secure in your housing, that comes with having a place to be. And for me, Bill Koch is the epitome of the provision of hopefulness and homefulness in Nashville. He's provided housing through his caring, through his creation of Rooftop Foundation, and through his work in Nashville, has created homefulness for countless numbers of individuals in Nashville. Bill Koch has inspired and influenced me immeasurably, and primarily because his invitation, his encouragement, and in some cases his provoking me to join the Rooftop Foundation board inspired and ignited a passion and a calling in myself to serve in ministry with affordable housing, to serve in ministry with people who struggled with housing, and has basically helped formulate and refine a calling that I currently live into, working in affordable housing in Nashville now. So I consider Bill as an integral part of my calling and my calling to ministry. Bill, not only thank you for everything that you have done for countless individuals who have needed assistance to prevent homelessness, but thank you personally for what you've done for me in my calling, in my passion, in my vocation, and for inspiring me to share the same kind of passions that I recognized and witnessed in you.